Hey guys, it's Rachel from Tiramar Farms, and I just wanted to come show you our new incubator that we're using. We've got a fresh batch of eggs in here. They're a mix of white leghorn, black copper Marin, barred rock, one bantam, and one Easter egger hen, and then our black copper Marin rooster and our red Rhode Island red rooster. So there's possibly a mix in here. I'm pretty sure that the copper Marin eggs are going to be, at least most of them, pure, because they kind of they grew up together, so they hang out in their little flock, and then our other rooster who we had before hangs out with his hens. So I think most of the leghorn and the barred rock are probably going to be crossed with the Rhode Island red. But just wanted to kind of get some in and get them going. I've been wanting to do that for a while. I've actually been wanting to have a hatch for the last couple of years, but we haven't had a broody hen. Usually with our flock, we have a pretty small flock, but we've usually had 1 or 2 hens a year go broody, and for whatever reason, maybe it's because we've got some newer birds after we had an issue with a fox who got most of our older ones, or maybe it's just the breeds that we decided to try out. We haven't really had a hen go broody in the past couple of years and stay broody. We did have a couple that would kind of pretend to be broody, and then after a couple of days we would realize they're not setting the nest anymore and they're not going to hatch. So we decided to go ahead and do the incubator. Now, I've hatched with an incubator before. It's been a few years, and before I just had the styrofoam, like cheap ones from the store, and I wanted to do something a little bit better quality this time. I didn't want to just go get the cheapest thing from the farm store, because those can be kind of hit or miss, and when I've used them in the past they were really hit or miss. They're not as good a quality as the more, I don't want to say more expensive, but they're just not as good a quality. Sometimes, you know, there's that level there where you kind of get what you pay for if you get the cheapest thing, and then if you get the most expensive thing, you're probably being ripped off a little bit because of branding or unnecessary extras or whatever. So I kind of wanted to go to the middle, where I'm getting a better product than what is the cheapest on the market, but not necessarily all the bells and whistles. So what I've opted for here is the Brinsea. Let me get over here where you can see it. And I'm not sure if it's Brinsea, I'm not sure, but it's the Octagon Eco. Brinsea is a brand that I have read a lot about, and a lot of people use it and really recommend it. I've not seen any real negative reviews about this brand, so I knew kind of going in that that was the brand I wanted. It's constructed out of nice hard plastic, not cheap styrofoam. And this particular model is more of the lower range of their models. It's a step up from some of their smaller ones that only do like a few eggs. This one holds, I think it's got close to 2 dozen in there. It may be 2 dozen. I didn't actually count them. I probably should count my eggs before they hatch. But I didn't go for all of the extras, so I didn't get the auto turner. There is an auto turner you can get with this, but I decided to do it manually, and it's not ready to be turned right now. But what you do is it has this octagon shape, so you turn it 2 to 3 times a day. 3 is better if you can do it, from one octagon side, and then when we turn it again it'll go to this side, not to the middle. The middle is where you would attach the optional auto turner if you had it, and where you would sit it for storage. But for the eggs incubating, we keep it on the sides. This particular model has the racks on the inside so that the eggs are sitting upright, and then there's a metal bar, and I have an extra here, let me show you. It comes with several of these so that you can adjust the sizing to fit bigger or smaller eggs. So we put those in between the eggs and it holds them upright. No pressure on the eggs, but just giving it stability so that as you're rotating it, it's not jostling the eggs all over the place. And then you can see where we had a little extra space in the corner, we ripped up empty toilet paper roll to take up some of that space so that the eggs aren't jostling too much. This is a circulated air model. That's one thing I really wanted to get. What I've had in the past with the really cheap ones was still air. And what that basically means is that this one has a little fan that's blowing and circulating the air throughout it, and that's going to help prevent hot spots and cold spots, which can happen in a still air because it's not circulating. And you know, if you've ever gone into a room of a house that like didn't have air conditioning or didn't have air conditioning on, and the air just feels stuffy and it's not moving around, and you can kind of walk over to like a window and it'll be cooler, and over by the door it'll be hotter, that kind of thing. We don't want that going on in an incubator. We want the temperature to be regulated throughout. This one does not have a digital temperature adjustment. It has a mercury temperature thermometer that you can see through the glass, and then to adjust it up or down, you unscrew this plate here in the back, and it has a little knob in the inside that you use a very small screwdriver like this one, and you use that to turn it like just barely a little bit to turn it either cooler or warmer. And the exact instructions come with the incubator for exactly how much to turn it for however many degrees. 99.5 is like the perfect temperature, so that's where you try to keep it. I have it here in my bathroom because it needs to be in a place without extreme temperature fluctuations. My bathroom is the best place for that in our house because it's the most interior, and I actually shut off the air conditioning vent so that that's not fluctuating it up and down, and I'm just keeping the doors open so the air's flowing, but it's not going to get any drafts from like the window, or like if we put it in our kitchen, it'd be getting drafts from the windows because we have a lot of windows in our kitchen, and it would be possibly getting heated up when we turn our stove on to bake. Then that heats up the kitchen a lot when we're cooking. So I definitely didn't want it in there because of the fluctuations in temperature. They do have models that have a little bit more bells and whistles, like you can do the automated turner. They have an automated humidity monitor so that you're not, instead of like having to check the little water wells that are on the bottom every day, it monitors it. And they have the digital versions where everything's digitized instead of manual. But like I said, I didn't want to spend a whole lot because I'm not a person who hatches out really regularly. You know, typically if a hen goes broody, I'll let her set, and every now and then I'll want some chicks. But as far as, you know, brooding on a regular basis, I don't do that. I don't constantly have chicks, so I didn't want to go all out for it. I'll probably eventually buy the automated turner for this model just so that it's getting that more regular turning. But right now we're just doing the turning it manually 3 times a day. And I'm really pleased with it so far. I'm hoping that I'll get really good results with it. On day 19, what you do is you come in and you turn it upright. So on the, instead of on one of the side panels, you put it on the bottom panel so it's upright, and you remove the bars from the interior and let the eggs lay down flat, and then start rotating them by hand, and you adjust the humidity hatch. So it has this little hatch here, and they recommend keeping it about halfway open during the majority of the incubating, and then when you get to the end, when they're starting to hatch, closing it a little bit more so that you're closing that little gap and holding more of the humidity in so that they have more humidity for their hatch. So that's what we'll be doing starting about day 19, and as soon as we get some chickies, I will show you. Hopefully we have a good hatch. I'm hoping that all of my copper moran eggs especially hatch well, and I'm hoping I get some pure copper morans in there. I think I should, but fingers crossed. So I just wanted to show you this and give you an idea of what we're working with here, and I'll keep you updated whenever we have chicks come out. So, and I'll let you know how the incubator does overall. I think so far it's much nicer than the cheaper ones we've gotten at just the farm store. So I'm pleased with it so far. But thanks for watching. You can subscribe here and follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I will see y'all later.